All right. Well, welcome to our call tonight. I am Love Carpenter and super excited to have you guys all on tonight. If you are in a quiet place, it is more than fine not to be muted, but if you've got background noise, please mute yourself so that we can hear, and you can always unmute to ask a question. And today is January the 27th, and I am super excited to share with you what we have been working on. So, how many people on here have done a virtual party? I think everybody on here has done a party, right? Okay. All right. So, I would like to hear some feedback from some of you guys as far as the results that I think that some of you guys have. Hey, Angela, I can see you now. So I think that some of you guys might have some mixed feelings about virtual parties. Like sometimes you do one and it goes really good and you're so excited, and then other times you do some and they just are crappy parties and there's not enough people in them, or they didn't get any orders, or the host didn't invite like they needed to, or there's always something. So how many of you guys have been disappointed sometimes with some of your virtual party results? Anybody? All right. So I am going to be very open and transparent with you guys tonight, okay? So you guys know that I've been in business for a lot of years, and I love our cooking show. I love the cooking show, and my cooking show, for those of you that haven't seen my show, it is not like I'm going to stand up here and do all this, and you guys are going to sit down and don't cross the yellow tape because this is my presentation area. That is not how I do my parties. I do my parties, we're all standing around in the kitchen. I hand off the recipe to a recipe reader. They're the ones that actually instruct us on what to do. And we just all stand around in the kitchen and cook. And I help out with the products when we get to each new step. Okay, so just so you guys know, I just got a message from somebody that was on the event tonight that says, send me your website, I want to sign up. So our events are working, guys. Get your people in the events. Okay, and this is someone who is in one of my virtual parties this week. She has booked a party for later on next month, but we will let her order her kit and turn that party right into her own party. So, so get your people to the event. And I'll say one more thing about the event. We'll go back to virtual parties. The event is posted on the Team Love page. And although we did the video tonight, that event is still good for you to invite to all the way up until Thursday, okay? You can keep sharing that event on your page. You can share it in your parties. You can share it with your host. I put it in my little host coaching group that we're going to talk about. I put it there. So keep sharing that. And that is, even though we did the information tonight, all that is still there, and we'll still be posting a little something each day, reminding them about the special and the kit giveaway all the way through Thursday night. So keep inviting to that event. If you aren't in it, just click that link that I posted in the Team Love page and you'll be added. And then you can take, what we recommend doing is taking the link and sending it to people instead of adding them to it. That way they have to click and join, and then they'll see the information. So, so back to virtual parties. So being very open and transparent. I've done cooking shows for a lot of years. I love the cooking shows. Well, when the virtual party came along, I wasn't really good on Facebook. Anybody else feel like that sometimes? I didn't like, I'll be real honest, I didn't like Facebook. Like I was on it for work, to be on there for our team because lots of people were on Facebook, but I didn't like the idea of posting things about myself and putting stuff out there, and I was totally uncomfortable with the whole thing. So then I was trying to learn how to do this virtual thing, and it just wasn't natural for me because I didn't like putting myself out there on Facebook. And so it was hard for me to kind of get into doing it, but I decided I was going to learn it so I could train our team. And I did. I learned it and I trained our team. And so we had some people on the team who really took off with it and did well. Leah Limro, Karen Yawk, they both have done amazing jobs with the virtual business. Jennifer Henderson, we've got some rock star leaders on our team that have done an amazing job with virtual. Well, they took the little bit of knowledge that I knew how to give them, and then they ran with it, and they made it so much better because it was their thing and it was their knack, and they were good at it. And then here I'm still struggling and not really getting it, and it's just not clicking. And so then over the past year or two, I have seen some amazing people in our company join and rise all the way to the top above where I am in the business. And I'm like, well, what gives? I'm working like crazy. Why can I not do this? So I'm going to give you an example. For those of you that have been in Director Bound with us, Stacy Itzel and I have taught a Director Bound class for a lot of years together. We used to do them on Sunday nights. And Jennifer Henderson and I think Jennifer Gunn were in a class where we taught that together. And Stephen Joseph was in this class. So Stephen was a brand new consultant. He took our Director Bound class together. He did a couple cooking shows. He did virtual. Well, he knew how to take what we gave him with virtual and just run with it. And he was, that was his niche. He was good on Facebook. He knew how to kind of do this. Well, let me tell you what Stephen did. Some of you guys have heard his calls. If you haven't, I'll post one of them for you. In 2 years, Stephen has not only promoted to the executive director level where I am, he's promoted to the senior executive level, and his team is now making a run for national. Their team, he's only been in the business for 2 years, okay? 2 years and a couple months now. And so all his consultants are less than 2 years in, and they have just seen this phenomenal growth. They are a 100% virtual team. Stephen was good at the virtual party, and he was good at putting systems together to give his team to run with. And I feel like that's where I wasn't really good at the virtual party, much less putting a system together to give you guys. So I'm looking at all this growth going on around me and very inspired by these people. So I reached out to Stephen and some of these people to ask for their help with virtual. And so when I came back from executive seminar in October, I'm like, all these people are seeing this amazing growth and making all this money. Stephen made $119,000 in his second year with the business, all while he worked another full-time job. $119,000 at a side gig business? Are you kidding me? Let that sink in for a minute. He has since quit his full-time job, but he was working full-time all last year until October. So only 2 months out of the year did he not work a full-time job, and made $119,000 with his side gig. So I'm watching not only him, lots of people seeing this growth. And I was like, you know, why not me? And why not now? And so that's what I want to ask you guys. Why not you, and why not now? If you want to earn the money, it's here to earn, okay? And you can still do cooking shows, and cooking shows are fun and they're great. And I'm not saying don't do cooking shows, but you can add so many more parties in every single month by doing virtual parties. So I'm going to post a recording tonight. It's only a 30-minute recording. I'm going to post it in the Team Love page tonight, but listen to it whenever you can this week. But it is Cammie Cruz, who's a friend of mine in the business, and she's going to tell you her story about how they had 4 children, and how her husband, they had bought this dream home. They built their dream home, and it took them a couple years to build it. And her husband wanted to start his own business. And so they had made some decisions for their family, how he was going to quit his job and really pour into starting his own business. And I don't know if you guys know, but if you start your own business and it's not Pampered Chef, it doesn't cost $109, and you don't start making money right away. So he was in a totally different ballgame. So upon moving into this house and him starting this new business, they found out they were pregnant with twins. So their family just got exponentially bigger. So Cammie had to figure out a way to earn the money that they needed. So she started doing 10 virtual parties every week in addition to her cooking show schedule. And you can hear her on the call. She shares all kinds of information and tips about her virtual parties. So I want you to listen to that call this week, because you hear from her and how she did it. And she says, I tried virtual parties. They just weren't for me. They just didn't work for me. But then when we were in this bind and I needed to be able to earn the money, a friend of mine said, why don't you try them again? People are having success with them. So she was willing to jump back in and try it again. And so she did, and she'll tell you her story and how she did it. And she sells between $25,000 and $35,000 a month. Let that sink in for a minute. She's got like 5 or 6 kids, just had twins last year. I mean, she's got her hands full, and she's selling $25,000 to $35,000 a month. So you can do this and make this business be anything you want it to do. So what I want to share with you tonight is the start of a new virtual system that I've worked over the holidays to put together for you guys. Me and Becky Ishii, a good friend of mine in the business, worked on this. And so I came home in October from executive seminar, and I just decided, and that's it. I decided I was going to figure out how people were doing this and making the money that they were through the virtual party. And I was just going to figure it out. And so I hooked up and got information from Stephen, Cammie, and some of the other people that were seeing huge success. I studied what they were doing. They put me in their parties. I really tried to figure out what they were doing. And this pilot program that we are giving you is what has come out of that. So you guys have already seen, and I'll post again the Team Love page tonight, some of the results that came out of the first 3 weeks back in October when I ran this system. Well, now I have really upped the game, and I want to share with you guys that last week I ran 10 parties. Wait, before I share that, I want to share, Angela, will you wave to everybody so they can see you? I'm going to brag on you a little bit. See Angela right there? Well, congratulations, Angela, and welcome to our team. And Angela works a full-time job, right, Angela? And she used to sell Pampered Chef years ago when we did the cooking show. She's on Annette Wallace's team, and she contacted Annette and reached out and decided she wanted to sign back up this month. And we are super excited to have you get started. So Angela took the pilot program that we're sharing with you tonight, and she you're just a fast learner, Angela. I mean, I am very impressed with what you have done this week. But Angela put this pilot program to work, and then how many parties did you have? 5?
I had 5 running.
Okay, I didn't know if you could talk or not. I didn't know if you had your sound on. So will you tell people, because I know they didn't all do great, will you just tell people kind of how the gist of the 5 parties?
Well, one actually has 0, even still today. But one of them was over $800. One was over $500. Actually, 2 were over $500, and then one was like $144, so it didn't really qualify.
Okay, so I want that to sink in with you guys. 0, 144, 2 were 500, and 1 was over 800. Okay. So this is what congratulations, Angela. Yeah,
Thank you.
Great. So her first week, Angela sold over $1,800 in sales and earned, and I didn't even have the final numbers after you got your host orders in, but Angela earned over $430 in that week of virtual parties. Okay. So I want you guys to shift your thinking from the way you used to book virtual parties. Okay. And I want you to start thinking of never running a week of virtual parties without having 4 parties. And the reason for that is 1 could drop, 1 could flop, and then you have 2 to pop to get paid with, okay? So let's just say we took Angela's $800 show out of the mix, okay? So say she had these 4 parties. 1 of them had 0 in sales, 1 had 144 in sales, and 2 had 500. That is very, very typical of what will happen with virtual parties. So you've heard us say for a long time now, for every 1 cooking show you book, you need to book 2 virtual parties. And that's exactly why. Angela had good sales on those parties, but it could have been the 0, the 144, 250, and 350, which could happen some weeks, but you still had 2 parties to get paid on. Well, I know that some of you guys have been there because I've been there. What if the 2 parties you spent all your time running on Facebook this week were the 0 and the 144? How many of y'all have been there and that has you discouraged on virtual parties? So one thing, you've got to get that mindset of 4 parties a week. And if you can handle the 4 parties a week, and once you get used to that, if you want to bump up to 5 or 6, I'm going to tell you what's happened the last 2 weeks. I've done 10 parties a week. Well, I say the last 2 weeks. My second week of 10 parties starts tomorrow. So last week I did 10 parties. Out of those 10 parties, I had 2 hosts that never invited. Like, I don't know, maybe they're on WITSEC. I don't know where they are. But anyway, they have not invited. And these were people I was just communicating with the week before. Okay, like, I don't know. So 2 have never invited. Well, then this week I had 10 parties. And guess what? 2 have never invited. So that is 4 people that never even invited people. So, and I was able to move somebody that was wanting one later that bumped into this week. So I still have 9 parties this week, but one still has never invited. So, so I was able to get that back up. But so that can happen. And so if you have 4, probably you're not going to have 2 that don't invite, but out of 10, you probably are. So if you want to get used to booking 5 or booking 6, so if you have that one that doesn't invite, then you have 4, you have 5 parties still. But I want you to not think of running a week of parties without 4 parties. Does that make sense to you guys, and why? The other reason is, you guys know the algorithms on Facebook. The more active you are, the more of an engaged user you are, the more Facebook is going to show your posts to people, okay? So I can guarantee you the activity I was doing in those parties had something to do with how well those parties did, okay? If I have 2 parties and all I'm doing is throwing the post up there through Post My Party, and I'm not interacting and not working with people, nobody's even seeing that party, okay? So we've got to own some of that as consultants. And if the party is not being seen, and sometimes you can do everything and it still doesn't get seen, but if the party's not being seen and there's not interaction in the party, we as consultants have to own some of that. And I will be very honest with you, that was a lot of what used to be wrong with my virtual party. I didn't have a very engaged template. I didn't want to play these stupid games, because that's what I thought they were, was stupid games. Well, let me tell you, these people that come to your parties, they want to play these stupid games. So guess what we're going to give them? These games, okay? And I've gotten to where I like them, because I figured out how to interact with people and stuff in them. But in the beginning, I just didn't get it, because I'm just not a Facebook person. But you know what I am? I want to make money, okay? And I see that this is how I'm going to make money right now, okay? So I'll be very honest about that. So I'm figuring this out for y'all. So I'm going to give you everything that I'm doing, okay? So first of all, the very first thing to do is you need to up your bookings, okay? So if you have 1 Facebook party this week and 2 next and 1 the next, we've got to fix that. That's the first thing that has to be fixed. You've got to up your bookings. So if you haven't already, or if you have and you've only done it 1 time and you haven't announced the prize yet, I want you to put out that post that says, if you love Pampered Chef, pick a number between, and pick a different number than you see on my wall. Like, y'all can go look at the post on my wall from a couple weeks ago, but pick it, like, word it just a little bit different, change the number so we're not all doing the same thing, change the background so we're not all doing the same thing. I'm going to post a series of 3 of those together in Team Love when I'm writing down when I'm gonna post. So I'm gonna post that as soon as we get off. And it is Grace Bott's post, but you will see how she posted that 3 times before she announced the winner. So you could post it in the morning, you could post it again on Wednesday, and you could post it again on Friday at different times. Definitely Thursday and Friday. You could post it tomorrow, and you could post it again on Thursday and again on Friday if you wanted to. But you can post it 3 different times, because the people that see it the first time are not going to be the same people that see it the second and the third time. Facebook shows your post to different people at different times. So you'll see Grace's wording. And so you'll see the first one is just the basic wording, but then the next one says, if you hadn't already guessed a number, there's still time. So it's just a follow-up to the first post, okay? So you want to be willing to do a giveaway. You can give away the straws, mail nicely. They're lightweight and they mail nicely. You could give away anything small like that, an herb stripper, they're just the little things, nothing expensive, an nylon mini serving spatula, just something like that that you can mail through the mail to somebody. So, so you got to be willing to give away the prize. So the way the number thing works, okay, is if you say guess a number between 1 and between 20 and 80, okay? And then write this down, random.org, okay? There's a website, random.org, go to that, it's free. There's a little thing over there to the right-hand side that says 1 through 100, okay? And you enter your number 20 through 80, or whatever numbers you put up, okay? And you click generate, and it's gonna give you the number, okay? So it picks the number for you. So say it picked number 33. You go and see who guessed number 33, and there's your winner, okay? If more than one person guessed 33, then you can put those people in a drawing and pick one of them, okay? Or you can say 3 people pick number 33. Then you can go put random.org, put 1 through 3, and if it generates number 1, then whoever was the first person to pick 33, that's your winner, okay? And you could mail all 3 of them Season's Best Cookbooks if you wanted to. Just make this simple. There's no exact rules on how to do this, but that's the gist of what you're doing there, okay? You want to post this on your public wall, not in your community, okay? And this is why that's so important. And some of you that are newer don't know about a community yet. We're going to help you build that. But those of you that have a community and been building a community, this is why you don't want to post it in your community. The whole idea with this post is to get you new, fresh leads. Do some of you guys feel like you're going to the same people over and over about booking a party? We need to get your funnel out and get you new people in that funnel. And that's what this does. So I want you to think about this. If you love Pampered Chef, guess a number, blah, blah, blah. So those people that are answering that post, they're in essence jumping up on your page going, me, 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 I love Pampered Chef, right? Right? Okay? So these people love Pampered Chef. So everybody goes in the drawing. But then what you're going to do, yes, Angela?
It's the teacher in me, sorry.
Yes.
So I'm still a little confused.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you're saying post this, you're saying put it on my personal Facebook page,
Yes.
not anything with my Pampered Chef groups.
Correct. Put it on your personal Facebook page. Because we have other ways that we're going to teach you to work your groups. So this needs, and think about the people that are in those groups, they're already being exposed to Pampered Chef, and we're going to work with bookings in those groups and things like that. You're trying to put this out there so you can find, I mean, maybe you got an Aunt Carol who lives out in Colorado that you haven't thought of in like 8 years, and she comments that she loves Pampered Chef. Well, then we're going to send her a message. Do you see, this is to get you new people that are not even on your radar right now, okay? So, and for those of you that have had your group community for a while, do you see why we're not posting it in your community? You've already been talking to those people. And if some of those people comment, by all means, still send them the message, but we're trying to get you new people, okay? So when you post that, I'm going to post in this post tonight with Grace's post. And Grace is one of our top sellers. Grace Bot, I know Grace is on here too. Hey, Grace. Grace Bot is one of our top sellers in our company. The one that did this the 3 times, kind of spread out over a couple days. And that's who I got it from, and it totally works. This isn't something that you're going to do often, okay? So like you might do this now. I haven't done something like this probably in 8 months on my page. So this is not something you're doing now. You're going to be back doing it again in February and back in March. That's not that kind of thing, okay? You're going to do this once. I mean, post it a couple times, but this one drawing you're going to do once, and then you might do something else in a month or 2, but this you won't do again for a while, okay? So, because it's not effective if you do it too much. Does that make sense? So this is hopefully going to get you some new people. Then we want you to send the pilot program message to them, okay? That says, hey girl, hey, Angela, or whoever you're talking to, I'm trying something new. I have been asked, so right now, here you go. I am asking all of you to join me to run a pilot program on Facebook with a new virtual party next week or the next, okay? So you have now been asked to run a pilot program. So your message is going to say, I've been asked to pilot test a new virtual party with Pampered Chef. It's all done on Facebook. It has a couple sentences that just kind of explain what you're asking them to do. And then it says, for being one of my 4 guinea pigs to try this next week, I'll have an extra free gift for you, okay? You don't have to include that part, but if you do, you'll get the bookings, okay? So this is how I want you to think about it. If there was a store down at the end of your street that sold bookings for $12 for 3 bookings, would you go buy any? Would anybody go buy any? If they sold bookings for new people that you don't know, $12 for 3 bookings. Okay, so this is how I want you to think about it. So if someone says, yes, they'll be one of your 4 testers, okay? Then once they say that, then you're like, great, send me your contact information, name, email, phone number so I can get you set up. And then I always verify with them. And like when you're sending this message, it's always for next week or the next. You're not given a free gift for parties in the end of February and in March and in April. That is not what you're given a free gift for. This is a one-time thing to get things started next week if you don't have the bookings or the next, okay? So I want you to take some notes here. This pilot program starts on Monday and runs through Friday, okay? It is a Monday through Friday party. However, you need your host to invite the Friday before. So once they tell me, so I might say, you know, virtual party for next week. So then I might say, look at the calendar. Okay, so if I'm working this message this week, I am going to say, great, the pilot program runs the 4th through the 8th, but we will need to invite your friends the Friday before on February 1st. Will that work for you? Because I don't want to tell them the party's on the 4th and not tell them we need to invite 3 days before, because then they might not even see my message or be on there, you know, so you want to give them a heads up with that. It's very important for them to invite 3 days before, because it takes that time to get enough of their friends to see the party, okay? So the idea is to work this and send enough messages that you get 4 people for the 4th, and then as soon as you do, you can continue with the messages that you're sending and get 4 more for the 11th, okay? Then you can just send out messages and work to get some parties to book for the 18th, the 25th, whatever other dates you want to fill. So one thing you've got to decide with your family life, your work schedule, how do you want to run your parties? Okay, do you want to run 8 parties a month? If so, I would pick 1 week to run 4. Don't run any the next week, and then pick another week to run 4. Okay, so you could do this right now to book up the 4th through the 8th and the 18th through the 22nd. Or if you don't want to start your parties until the 11th, you can do this now to book the 11th through the 15th and the 18th through the 22nd, and then take that next week off. So you decide how much you want to work, but every time you are working, I want you to be running 4 parties. Do you guys see why? Because it's not worth your time to work Facebook parties and be on there every day for a whole week for a party that's $144 in sales and 0 in sales. If you've got 4 parties, you're going to beat the odds, okay? So, and once you get comfortable with 4, then you might decide you want to step it up, but 4 is a good number to start with, okay? So, so any questions on the layout of the party? Start on Monday, close on Friday. I close out with my host on Saturday, but the party closes on Friday. The whole countdown, everything's by midnight on Friday. One of the big key things that we're doing is a drawing for all orders in by Wednesday night, okay? You can do a Season's Best Cookbook, you can do the bamboo tongs, you could do the corn butter, you could do a mini serving spatula. I wouldn't do anything over $4, okay? But you're only doing that drawing if you have 5 orders or $200 in sales by Wednesday night. Well, that's a qualified party and the party's not even over, okay? And so my posts say when we have 5 orders for $200 in sales. So then on Wednesday, I go in there and I post we're 2 orders away or whatever we need. You know, don't forget, we get your order in, we'll be in a drawing, we need 2 more orders to do the drawing. So I'll let them know where we're at. So that's on Wednesday. That most of my orders, I mean, a lot of my orders came in by Wednesday for this. Who else has done the drawing on Wednesday and really posted it and seen results from that yet? Has anybody done that yet? Angela, did you see orders come in before Wednesday when you did that this week? Okay, and then Erica, I saw your hand. Did you see orders come in when you did that? Okay, yeah, I think she said a lot. So those are a couple things that we're doing in the party that I think are making a difference with the orders. So I want to share with you the results I got from the 10 parties that I ran, and 2 parties did not invite. I did replace 1. So technically I had 9 parties running. 1 was 0 in sales. 1 is $180 in sales right now. None of them were spectacular, but I did have 2 of them get to about $1,000 in sales, which is a great show. But I mean, I wasn't doing $3,000 shows or anything, okay? But I ran these 9 parties that I actually invited. My sales for the week were $5,795 in 1 week as a new consultant, a brand new consultant. So if that had been Angela's first week in the business, she would have earned $1,448 in 1 week. Who get excited about that? Every single one of those bookings was someone that commented on that. If you love Pampered Chef, comment with a number between 1 or whatever. All 10 of them came from that post and the pilot message that I sent out. And I gave them the straws as their free gift. And I said, it's a product that's not, nobody even asked what it was. I just told them at the end of the party, I said, the free gift that you're getting from me is a product that's not even in our current catalog. It is the new metal straws. And so it was $6.50, and I think I paid $4 and something for it when I added it to the host order. Okay. So I made $1,796 last week. 1 week of parties. Now I worked my butt off for 10 parties. I just want to tell y'all, but that was no easy feat. But hey, I earned over $1,700 in 1 week last week. So I wanted to do that to be able to have some statistics to show y'all and kind of show you the odds of that. So here's the deal. Some of you might have already seen this, but I'm going to post a Google document in this. I wanted all this pulled up, but then I ended up doing that video that I had some technical problems and got started late with that. So let me get this Google Doc pulled up so I can show you guys. Google. Annette, you must be on the call. Okay, let me get the right document up here and then I'll screen share. Okay, so this Google document that I'm fixing to show you guys is where you want to start. So after you message out the words and you start getting the bookings. Hold on, I have to find y'all again. Okay, first of all, I want to show you how I'm keeping track of my bookings, okay? I learned this from Jennifer Henderson. We're just going to make this really simple, okay? So you want a monthly calendar, and then so I put mine on Mondays, even though I'm setting up the parties on Thursday. I just like to know, okay, this Monday, this is what I have. And I still have to back up and know I have to set those parties up and invite the host by Friday. But here's my 10 parties that all went on that Monday. Here's my 10 parties that went on this Monday. So, and you can see I didn't do much the first part of the month, okay? So I got started to work last week. So then if you look over to February, I've got these little sticky note tabs, and so I'm just filling in my dates. So I've got 10 here. I've got 3 already for this week, 2 for that week, and I'm almost booked with my 10 for the last week. So I'm trying to fill this up now. So all I'm doing is writing their name down on here as soon as I book them. So when they message me back from the pilot program, I would say, great, the party starts next week on such and such a date. Can you invite on Friday? They would say yes. I'd write their name down. Once I got to the field, then I started saying, we're running a second week for the virtual party. Can you do yours on January 28th? We'll be inviting them the 25th. They would say yes. So I filled up that week. Then as the responses came in, I would say, we're doing the pilot program the week of February 4th through the 8th. Can you invite on the 1st? And then I would put their name in. I got 30 bookings from that post. Then from these parties I've done this week, I've got over 20 parties booked from the one set of parties I ran this week. Jeff, I was working on that the other day. I said, dude, if you want to know what I'm doing, I'm setting up 50 parties. So I've been busy setting up parties. But once they book from your parties, it's so much easier because you just go to their order and set their booking up that way. But the first set, you got to go set them all up. I'm like, good grief. So let me show you this Google form here. So this is, okay, once you get your party dated, the next message you send, if you're taking notes here, the next message you send is, great, can you send me your email, phone, and address, and I'll get you set up. By the way, the party starts on the 4th. You need to invite on the 1st. Does that work for you? Okay, so you kind of plan, they know it's on Friday. Those are the first 2 things you need to take care of, okay? Then once you have their information, I want you to get in the habit of immediately when you have their information, you set them up on the Pampered Chef website and you put their name in your calendar. That way you don't lose track of them, okay? That's very important because as all these messages are coming in, it can get a little crazy. So first thing, set them up on the website. As soon as you get their information, put their name in your calendar, okay? Then you don't need to set up their parties on Facebook. Like as you start booking out, you only need to just get them on the Pampered Chef website. And then the next step is just to set up your parties for the next week on Facebook, okay? So you're only doing that a week at a time. You're not doing those in advance. So it's a little easier to keep up. So let me show you this Google document that you're all gonna get tonight, okay? So here, Okay, well, I don't know how to make that any longer, but anyway, here you go. So setting up your Facebook party. Setting up your parties is as easy as 1, 2, 3. So I want you kind of to think through, because once I got a systematic way to do this, it got so much easier. So I want you to think through in your mind every time you're booking parties, you've got to set them up on the Pampered Chef website. That's number 1. Then the week of their parties, you set all those up in groups on Facebook, okay? So this document here tells you everything to do. The description for your Facebook, it tells you how to do it. The description for the Facebook party is here. It tells you what to go ahead and post in the party. Like everything you need to do steps 1, 2, and 3 is here. Step 3, so step 1 is Pampered website. Step 2 is set up the group on Facebook. And step 3 is the post my party part, okay? So everything you need is in this document. So when you get down here to post my party, this is the layout. So if you forgot what I said tonight, Friday you invite the host, Monday through Friday is the actual party. So the post, this is important. The post my party template does not start posting until Monday, okay? Even though they're inviting on Friday and you put a couple posts in there through the weekend, it doesn't start until Monday, okay? So the post my party template runs Monday through Friday. Very important. I said that, very important to have your host invite 2 to 3 days ahead of time because it takes that much time to get them in there. This is the actual pilot program template for the new year. So if you, it's done in 2 parts because I build it in 2 parts. I use the same day 1 and 2 pretty much all the time, but then days 3 through 5, like for Valentine's, I'm going to do for February, I'll have in the day 3 through 5, I'll have a whole chocolate fondue, like different fondue things, like or wine, cheese, and chocolate or something like that. I'll change up the themes, but I don't want to go back and have to change my first 2 days of party necessarily. So that's why it's in 2 parts. So the way it's set up now, you do have to load 2 different templates to post. So day 1 and 2, when you load that and post my party, you schedule that to post on Monday. And then right behind it, while you still have their website link copy, go ahead and schedule days 3 through 5, and that will post starting on Wednesday. So days 1 and 2 is Monday and Tuesday, and days 3 through 5 is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, any questions on that? Okay, so that's one document. Then the next thing I want to show you is, hold on, I'm trying to think of the name. Pilot. There it is. There, see, there's my girl wants to sign up. Okay, so once you get your 4 parties booked, or if you have parties to run for this week, if you're not in this group, let me know, I'll add you, okay? So here's our virtual party pilot program. Now, before I show you too much of this, I want to ask you guys a question. So those of you that I have trained, you guys know this very well. Susie's on here somewhere, and I know she can attest to this. I would start off the week with this great, amazing plan to host coach my hostesses. And I had this document that Becky Adams shared with me, and I was going to take this information and send it out every day. And I can't tell you how many times I put Susie in my host coaching groups for the week, and she would get lots of stuff to send to her host on day 1 and 2, and then it would trickle off, and they wouldn't hear anything from me, okay? So I was dropping the ball with my host coaching big time. And if we don't work with our host, your parties are not going to do well, okay? So when you think about your parties, you can't, okay, so you do everything that we've talked about up to this point. You can't just set up the party and let that template run and expect to get sales, expect to get bookings, or even expect to get people participating in the party. You've got to partner with your host and work with your host. And I love what Jennifer says. She says that she makes that host her BFF for the week. They don't have to be BFFs after that week, but she makes that host her BFF for the week, okay? And that's important. You want to build a relationship with your host that week because you will have a much more successful party. So how would you like if someone sent you what you were supposed to send your host every day for your party? Could anybody get excited about that? If we just sent it and said, hey, Michelle, send this to your host today. send this and this. And then the next morning we sent another message that said, hey, Michelle, send this to your host today. And then the next day we sent another message that said, hey, Michelle, send this to your host today. Okay, would that help y'all? Would that help anybody? All right, so I want to show you what we put together for you, okay? I am super excited about this. So we're pilot testing this for a couple weeks, and I hope this is going to turn into our new consultant training program. So as you welcome people to your team, you do not have to teach them all this. It will all be there for them. So let me show you how this works. Let me go back. So this group, if you have parties running for this next week and you want to be in this group, then send me a message tonight and I'll go ahead and add you. If your parties don't run until next week, you don't want to be in the group till the week your parties are running, okay? Because everything that you need is in that document to get yourself started. So here's how the group works. Can everybody see my screen? Okay, so when you set up your parties, I'll post this banner in the Team Love page tonight too. But this banner right here, you can actually use as the welcome banner when they join the party, okay? Here's the document at the top that we were talking about. That'll still be in the Team Love page too. So let me scroll. Okay, so let me show you how this works. When you get in the group, if you just search hashtag Friday, okay? Because that is the day that you invite your host, okay? So you'll see there are 4 posts, there's 4 things here for Friday, okay? So they're numbered, Friday 1, Friday 2, Friday 3, and Friday 4, okay? So that you don't have to see anything else in the group. When you go to this group next Friday for your party that doesn't start until, for all your parties that start on the 4th, you'll go to this group on the 1st, the day you invite your host, okay? And you'll search hashtag Friday. The hashtag will match the day you're on, okay? So hashtag Friday. So Friday number 1 says, message your host this. Your party is all set up. I'm going to add you to a group message with all of my hosts for the week. Boom. Okay, go send that to all your hosts. Then hashtag Friday 2, you take this right here, set up your host group, and you're going to message this with this picture to your host in your host group, okay? Then Friday 3 is a little Friday Yay thing. You can send this in the host group as well. So there's 2 messages you will send in the host group on Friday, just 2, okay? It's Friday. When you see me welcome people in your party, please comment in the post and welcome them. Also, they want to know that you're glad they joined us. See how simple this is? So you send this. So that's all you send to your host that day, okay? And then the 4th thing for Friday gives you the early bird post to post in the party. So it says, post this in the party, okay? So that's everything you need to do on Friday once your host is invited. So then we're going to go in here and search hashtag Saturday. So every morning when you get up, if you want to do this first thing in the morning, or if you do, these posts post at 5 o'clock in the morning, okay? So see, yesterday at 5 a.m. because my parties don't post at 5, and this has to post before my parties start posting. So Saturday is Saturday 1, 2, and 3. So this is Saturday host message 1 of 1. So that means there's only 1 host message you're sending your host on Saturday, okay? So you just copy this right here and send that to your host. And then Saturday, a couple things that we were trying, and we had a couple questions on this. Your welcome post that we want you to build, it is in the Post My Party outline. So if you just want to leave it there and let it post on Monday, you can. But we were trying for a week or 2 to post it over the weekend to see if that helped with some interaction. Because this is an interactive post, and it says, your turn, what is one fun fact about you, or what is something you enjoy. So if you want to try to create a little activity over the weekend, you could go ahead and post this, and then when you schedule your Post My Party, just delete that post so it doesn't post a second time, okay? And then here's a post for how the virtual party works. There's just a couple posts here you could pick from to post in your party on a Saturday, just to give a little interaction on something, okay? So that's Saturday, and then you would search hashtag Sunday when Sunday comes up. And you don't have to search the hashtag, but all this stays in there for the whole week so that you don't have to weed through everything. Let me go back to so here's the group. You can certainly go search everything and see everything that's in the group, but then it kind of gets all mixed together, because remember, when people comment in a group, things then are out of order. So to help you with the order, we left it like that. So then what happens on, okay, so for example, you can see this message right here. Send a message to everyone. So don't worry so much about what it says. I just want you to see that we're sharing messages with you. So what happens is by the time Tuesday gets here, we have a task each day to help you work the party. Okay, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is sending the message to your host and posting something in the party. But then by Tuesday, the task tells you to start friend requesting people in the party that are active in the party. Okay, then on Wednesday, now you don't want to friend request 120 people in one day. Okay, don't do that. You gotta kind of spread it out. But so I just scroll down to the bottom of my party and I just start going up. And the people that are active, I send a friend request. And pretty much everybody accepts my friend request because the party is very active. They know who I am. We're having a good time. So when they get a friend request from me, they accept. Then I send the message and the message comes up. So it comes up on Wednesday in this pilot program, and it tells you send this message to your host that accepted your friend request yesterday. And you guys know that in notifications, it tells you such and such accepted your friend request. So click the notification, go over there and paste the message. And the message doesn't even say the host name. So you don't even have to know which party she was from. It just says, thanks so much for accepting my friend request. I hope you're really enjoying the party this week. So you see what I'm saying? Like, you might not know which of your 4 parties this person was in. It doesn't matter. It's a very generic message. You just send it to everybody that accepted your friend request that week, okay? Unless you're friend requesting something else and people weren't in your parties, okay? So then on Thursday, it says send this message to everyone that hasn't accepted your friend request. And then on Friday, it says text this message to everyone who ordered. Because remember, if they've ordered, you have their phone number and you can then text them. And it's all about their order, confirming their shipping. But then there's a booking message that you send. So it tells you every day, do this. So it's in little bitty pieces. So you're not having to do all this at one time, and you're doing the same activity on the same day. So you're not having to send these messages all different days. You do this message on Wednesday. You do this message on Thursday, and you do this message on Friday. Okay? So questions about that group? Once you've gone through the group, you can stay in there so that each week that you have parties, we will keep sending this to you. You don't have to get out if you don't want to, but we do have a document and we do need to get it cleaned up just a little bit. Let me go back to, where's my Google document? Okay, so I'll go ahead and show you this, and by the end of the week, we should have, this should match everything in the party. So host coaching for virtual parties. We've got the information in this Google Doc, but we've kind of edited some things last week as we went through the party. So this matches what's in the Google Doc, but we've got to make the edits to it that we did this week. So we will post this link when it's done this week. So you'll have a hard copy of this too. But to me, it's easier to get the pictures from the Facebook post than it is from the Google Doc, okay? But if you want this Google Doc so you can print it out and see it, like, you know, some people are just more visual and they want to see the whole thing at one time. So if you want to see that, then we'll send that. There's a few things that I added this week in my host coaching that we're then going to add in here. So then we also have, by the end of the week, you'll have all these documents. The setting up your parties is as easy as 1, 2, 3. We already have that. The host coaching will be finished by the end of the week. And then virtual parties from start to finish. This document takes everything that we're kind of walking you through right now, this whole thing. And I'll go ahead and post this, but we're making some edits to this, but I'll post it tonight. So if you're the kind of person that wants to, but to me, this is a lot of information. And so I tried to give it to you in little pieces tonight, but if you want to see the whole thing, this talks about messaging 30 people, the pilot program message, or if you're a brand new consultant, this is a message here the brand new consultant could send, or the pilot message, it's all here. Then, let me go down. Then the getting started with virtual parties, easy as 1, 2, 3. So that's all in here. And let me get you through that. Party layout, post the banners. So I changed my banners. These are a couple virtual party tips. You're going to be hearing a lot more about this in the next couple weeks. But I changed my banners. The day the party starts, I put this new banner in on Monday that just has the free gift thing. And then on Friday, I changed my banner to this that says last day to order. So I've already made these for you guys for January and February, and I'll continue to make them and post them in the Team Love page. Then this is a personal message to send your host. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? So there's words for you to send. These are the posts that are actually, this is what's posted in there for you to post in your party. You just saw all that. This is all in one place. Then the games, the answers to the games, and the answers to the paychecks are posted in that virtual party pilot program. So it's called an envelope game. Remember the little piggy bank post? So if you search hashtag envelope, the checks will come up in that party thing. You don't have to look for them. You can just search that. So anyway, this document we're still working on a little bit, but I'll go ahead and post that so it gives you everything in one place. So a couple tips that I want to close with tonight that are some things that I've learned, like something I learned from Cami, is the last 2 days of the party. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm really pushing we're doing a drawing Wednesday night. There's a host there's a post I send to the host in the little host coaching group, and then they go and post it in the party that reminds them about that on Sunday, I believe, and then I send it to them again on Wednesday, and they post it again. So they're seeing it posted from the host twice. They're seeing it posted from me twice. And then on Thursday and Friday, I changed the name of the party. Okay, so you go into edit settings and hit, you're going to change the name. And instead of saying, let me show you kind of how I've organized my parties in here, and I can show you how to change the name. Share. Okay, so let's go to my homepage. Okay, so you can pin 10 groups on Facebook, okay? So it might be kind of locked up because I'm on, it's trying to go there, but if it doesn't get there, you can still see it right here. So over here in shortcuts, those are called pin post, and it will allow you to pin 10 posts, but no more than, 10 groups, but no more than 10, okay? So these are my 10 parties for this week. Brenda, Kelly, Lauren, Stephanie, Ashley, Melinda, Christy, Teresa, Darlene, Shirley. Those are my 10 for this week. These start mine from last week, but they're unpinned now, so they're no longer in a certain order. So let me go into Lauren's party. It'll let me. Okay, so I do all of my parties with these little things because I think they look fun. Lauren's New Year, New You virtual party, and they look fun. And so, but you have to do that from your phone. But once you've done it once on the computer, now when I set up my parties, once I get that in there one time, I can go copy this. Well, I don't want to copy closed group, but I can copy this. Maybe. My computer just moves really slow when I'm on Zoom, but I think you guys get the idea. If you copy that and go paste it when you're creating the next party, it will copy the images. And even if it comes up like a little funny looking square on the computer, it's still going to populate the image correctly, okay? So once you get it in there, you can continue to use it. So like for the holidays, I did like a little muffin thing. For the, like next month, I'll share with you guys what I do. But so I won't, so like then when I go, you know when you go to post my party and you've got to select your parties? I mean, I've done so many parties for Amy or so many parties for Ashley, but all my parties that are running this week have the same little picture, so they're all grouped together when I go to choose my groups from Post My Party, okay? And so then let me go to one of my parties from last week that I haven't changed back yet. Okay. All right, so Amy's PC party last day, $64 from her goal, okay? This one, Okay, so I just go in and change the name. So the first day that I changed the name is on Thursday. And I take out, do y'all see how it started out as PC party, New Year, New You? So I take out New Year, New You, because they've seen that now for like 5 or 6 days. So on Thursday, because you know the party was created last Friday, so by Thursday, everybody knows what the party is. So I take out the New Year, New You, so and the word virtual, so it shortens it up a lot. So then all it says is Jessica's PC party dash 2 days left dash $35 from her goal. Okay, so I'm going in there, and if a host is close to $650 for the January special, I'll put $25 from her goal, whatever her amount is. If she's $64 away from the $200 party, I'll put $64 from her goal. If she's $35 away from a $400 party, I'll put $35 from her goal. Do you guys see what I'm doing? And that's on Thursday. On Friday, I go in and change it to just last day, unless the party's not qualified. And then I still put how much it needs in sales. So most all my parties last week, it just said, like by then it would say Angela's PC party dash last day to order. And then on Saturday, I went in and changed it all to Angela's PC party dash thank you, so that it didn't still say last day to order. But what happens when you change the name is it sends a notification. So everyone in the group gets that notification that there's 2 days left, or everyone in the group gets the notification that it's the last day to order. That makes a huge difference on your orders. And then I didn't go into a lot of detail tonight on what is in the host template, but these things that we're sending the host, they're posting a reminder that says, hey, today's the last day to order my party. Then there's a message that we have her send out that says, hey, no pressure at all. Just wanted to remind you, if you saw something you wanted to get for yourself or for a gift, today's the last day to order on my party. So it's a really low pressure message that we're having them send out to people. But the hosts that are doing this, their parties are jacking up in sales like you wouldn't believe the last day. That's how my parties ended up being $1,000 parties, was the host that sent those messages out, or the host that had good parties. So the biggest thing I want you to take away from tonight is that if you haven't been happy with virtual party results up to now, if you want to try this again, if you're willing to book the 4 parties a week and run this host coaching program that we're doing in the pilot group, so we send you the message you stay to send, just make it your goal to get up in the morning, and the first thing I do before I go get my shower is I'm pulling my post from that pilot message too, just because it's an easy place to get it, and I save the pictures on my camera roll. So I just go in there, search. So tomorrow morning is Monday morning. I'll go into because I don't get up before 5, so the posts are there when I get up. Jessica, you might have to wait a minute on yours. So I might have to change it to 4 for you. But so I go in, as soon as I get up before I go get my shower or anything, I search hashtag Monday. I go in there and pull the words. I've already saved the pictures to my camera roll, but you can do that as you go throughout the week. And then I go ahead and send it to my group. Oh, and the one thing I wanted to show you was what the group message looks like, because I think you want to make it look fun. So let me go to Messenger. Okay, so all right, so here's one of my host message that I've started for this week. Do you see how, okay, do y'all know how to do this? Do you see how I can move y'all out of the way, move this out of the way here. Okay, so can y'all still see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so when you go in, if you go up here to Messenger, and you can do this easier on your phone actually. If you go to new group, you want to create new group, but if you do it from your phone, to me, it's easier. It'll let you put a picture in, it'll let you add your members, and it'll let you name it, okay? So mine is named Rockstar Host January, and then I date it. So like, go in Messenger where you can see it better, see all in Messenger. So rock. Okay, so since I had so many parties running, I didn't want my host to feel like, oh, well, she's got 10 parties running, and I don't, you know, like I didn't want them, I wanted them to feel special. So I think I've got 4 people in one group and 5 people in the other group. I didn't want to put them all in the same group. So you see what I did here so that I can tell the difference. I worded it just a little bit different. So this is, let's go to this message here. Okay, so just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. So every bit of what you're getting ready to see came from that pilot program group that we're adding you guys to. But you can create a color. Do you see how this makes it look fun for your host? And I tell them, I still communicate with my host all week individually. Each day I try to send them a compliment in their party, like, oh my gosh, you got the first order, or oh my gosh, your party has more people than any other one this week, or your party's more interactive. That I like to pay the host a compliment every day, something that I can sincerely say about something she's done in the party. But I'm just going to scroll through here kind of slow. So every bit of this is coming from that pilot message. And so you see there's not a lot of conversation here with my host because I'm still carrying on that sometimes they get confused and they think they're personal messaging me. So that happens every now and then. But for the most part, all our conversation is still going on in our private message. And this I'm just sending to them in a group so it's easy for them to find each day and send. Okay. And then one thing I always make sure I do is I always do this. Do you see here it says, here's your post for today. But then do you see how I broke the words up for them and it's in a separate message? That's important to do. Like you want to send it so that they can click on this right here on their phone and hold their finger down and just copy this, not copy my instructions. Does that make sense? Because I had hosts that would post my instructions with it. They didn't have to know what they were doing. Some people can't figure out how to do the picture. That doesn't matter either. But I would have people that would post this whole thing. Here's your post for today would be posted in their party. So you want to make sure you always take the message out. So like that was just a little tip, but here we go. Here's your post for today. Boom, I broke it up into a different message for them. So all they have to do is hold their finger in that and press copy and then go over there and paste it. Okay, so I'm just going to go. You guys get the idea. But they got that from me all week. And then, oh, this is something I added. I'll send this to y'all. Let me tell you a little secret. My job is not as hard as you think it is. Did you know my job is not as hard as you might think? Did you know I'm not posting all the posts in your party? It's very important to let your host know that. No kidding, but you thought I was on Facebook all day long. Nope, we have a service that posts. It is very important to let your host know that, okay? That will help you with your recruit lead. So anyway, we will share all this with you. And then at the end, I send them a special invite to join my community online. And I also put that in my party. So that's not in the outline, but if you have a community, you want to share that in your party. So I will do a follow-up call to this, and I'm not going to be home tomorrow. So I'm thinking Tuesday. I will do a short video on how I'm getting bookings from my party and screen share like those little videos I've done. But I will do another call sometime within this next week when you guys have these parties running to really talk to you guys about how to get bookings in these parties. But I don't want y'all to wait for us to get on another phone call about the bookings. So I'll do a little video the first of this week to show you. But there's a couple behind the scene things that we're doing to get bookings that are important. They build off the things that are in the outline, but like I'm offering my host $25 if they get me $25 in free credit if they get me 3 bookings from their party by Friday. They only get the credit if I have the bookings and the date by Friday when the party closes, okay? So I send that to them in the message, and then if they get 3 parties, I go ahead and put the $25 up front on the party. You don't have to do that. You can give it to them on the 3rd party if you want to, but I give them the $25 and a half price item from each party. So the half price item that Pampered Chef's paying for that. Remember, I'm not paying for that. I'm only paying for the $25. So on my let's say on an $800 party that Angela had, if you're giving them a $25 free gift, so say they pick the popcorn maker, it's $25, that's what one of my hosts actually picked. Just pick the popcorn maker, okay? So in an $800 party, I get 30% off of that popcorn maker, okay? So I'm giving her a $25 gift, but it's not costing me $25, right? So she picked the popcorn maker. So I get 30% off of the popcorn maker. So I get $7.50 off of the popcorn maker. Okay. So $25 minus $7.50. So I've got to put in $17.50 in tax for 3 bookings. Okay. So $17.50 in tax for 3 bookings. So let's divide that by 3. You're paying $5.08 to have those bookings on your calendar dated by Friday. This is how I book more than 20 parties off these parties I just ran. So $17.50. Now you're going to make commission off the $17.50. So I'm going to go on Angela's commission that she made in 1 week, okay, where surely you guys can, we can do this in a whole month worth of party, even if your parties weren't as good as Angela's, okay? So for the month, remember, Angela sold over 1,800 in 1 week, so she would have been making 23% off of that in 1 week. Now for the month, if her sales go up, she can make 24 or 25%, but let's just say you're making 23% off that $7.50. So then off the $7.50 times 0.23, you're making another $4 that comes back in your commission check because you're paid commission on what the host orders at her discount, not her half price or 60% off, but what she orders at her discount. So now take $7.50 and minus $4. That puts you out of pocket $13.50 for 3 bookings. So now let's divide that by 3. So you're paying $4.50 per booking that your host secured for you, and you have a date on your calendar by Friday. Okay? So do you guys see? So basically, if there was a booking store down the road and you could go buy a booking for $4.50, would you? That's kind of how you've got to think about it. Would you spend a little bit of money to make money? So the little bit of prizes and the little bit of money that Angela spent on this, she well more made back in her $430. Okay? So you don't have to do those prizes. You can do the $25 on the third party, which honestly is what Jennifer Henderson did for a lot of years. She did the $25 on the third party. I personally don't want to keep up with it and don't want to have to know about it on the third party. I just want it done, and I want it to be a big incentive. And I'll tell you where it really is a big incentive on a $200 and $300 party, when they can jump up from $20 in free credit to $55 in free credit, they will go get you 3 bookings. Okay, so use it to your advantage however you want to, but that has really helped me with the bookings. And I'll share some more booking tips and things that we're doing, but it's working with partnering with your host to get your bookings. So I hope this has helped you guys tonight. Who's been inspired or excited to go do some parties? Anybody? Has this helped? So how many of y'all have run this new outline? If you haven't run this new outline, the new template for the new year, and Michelle, I'm pretty sure if you haven't run the new one for the new year, the pilot program we were running for Christmas time, it's the same layout, same concept. But if you haven't run the pilot program for Christmas time or this new one, really got to try it because it's a game changer from our old style party. It's high interaction, high activity, high engagement. People are drawn into this party. And I got tons of messages this week saying this is the best virtual party I've ever been to. You make this so fun. I'm so excited I was a part of this. Like, the feedback has been unreal. And I see Angela nodding her head. I take it you got the same type of response, Angela?
I did. Good. Yes. Also, I had a lot of, I booked 9 parties just on the thing where I sent, after I was going through all the orders where everybody ordered, where I just sent out and said, hey, I was checking on your shipping address. Would you like to host host a show, book a show with me? I got 9 off of that.
So
that wasn't even at the show.
So those words that we tell you guys to send that are in that pilot program, use those words. Angela just told you she got 9 bookings using those words. Use the words. I promise you they work. Yes, Michelle? Wait.
That's me. Susie.
Are you there?
Yes, Susie?
Do we need to change up those words at all?
Just a little bit, but if you're putting the host first name in there and you make a tweak or two to a sentence, you're okay.
Okay.
Yes, Michelle, were you asking a question?
Yeah, my biggest problem seems to be to get the people into the party. The hosts are inviting them, but they're not joining. So then you go in and you got maybe 20 people at the most, and you got 100 people that were invited but still haven't joined. And I go in and I do the send reminder. I do that. I don't know how much that helps. What else can I do to try to get more people to join?
So guys, I'm going to answer Michelle's question and give y'all a sneak peek. And then if there's any other questions, I'll stay on. But if you got, I know some of you guys got to get up early in the morning, so I don't want you to feel like you're missing anything if you don't hang on. So thanks for joining us tonight. Will everybody send me a message that you were on the phone call tonight so I can make sure I'm following up with you? Just send me a Facebook message real quick that say I was on. I was taking names, but then so many of y'all joined as we started, or you're on your phone. Okay, so Michelle, are you doing the early bird post where you're saying hello to everybody? Are you doing that in the party?
Well, I didn't really get started like I should have on Friday because I didn't have the parties. In fact, I really started on Saturday, but 2 of the hosts didn't start doing anything till today. They didn't start inviting anybody till today.
So I would strongly consider changing the party start date to Wednesday. So you have a few more days to work that party, and just say to your host, say, hey, it takes your friends a couple days to see the party. So we're not going to start the actual party till Wednesday. So we have 2 more days to get enough people to see the party to make this worth your time. So, and then you can use the same outline and everything, just load the post, push everything back. You can still use the host coaching group, but I'll send you the written thing. So you could, if you wanted to print it out and go in and change your days so you don't get so confused. But I think if you push it out, you have time to get more people involved. So the early bird post, I'll work that post for 3 days. I'll go in there and say to the host, hey, tag 10 of your friends. So I'll screenshot my words, but I say something like, hey, Michelle, tag 10 of your friends here so they don't miss out on our first giveaway. Everyone loves free. So it's a real low pressure thing for them to tag in. It's not like they're tagging them and buy from me and order from me. You know, it's just a hello post. So that helps people see it. Then I do the host. I have the host, and I can screenshot what I'm sending the host, but I have my host personal message 25 people on Saturday and 25 people on Sunday that she thinks would be most interested in the party. Do you have that message, Michelle?
I can find it. I'm sure it's in the documentation, right?
I think, but I'll just screenshot it and put it in the party tonight, so in the Team Love tonight, so y'all have it. The exact words I tell her, because there's a way, and I don't know if y'all know this, but if you go to your messages, okay, so let me go, Tamitha, I'm just going to use you for example, because Tamitha just sent me a message that said I was on the call, okay? So here's Tamitha's message. She said I was on the call, okay? I know for a fact you can do this on Android too. The step might be a little different, but basically, I'm going to go to Angela's message, and Tamitha's message. I'm going to put my finger on it, and it's going to give me this option. One of the options is forward. You guys have seen this before? I'm going to go to forward, and now I'm going to send this. Tamitha, did you just message me? I'm on the phone call. Is that all it said? Hold on, let me make sure before I send this out. Hold on, cancel. I was on the call. The question when you talked about adding a free gift. Okay, this is a question. So if you press this down and then hit forward, okay, so then Grace and Jessica are both on this call, okay? So I'm going to hit, can you see the names? The thing over to the far right says send, okay? So I'm going to hit send to Grace, and it just sent Grace that message without me copying and pasting anything, okay? And then I'm going to hit send to Jessica, and it sent the same. So they can just go through and pick their 25 people and just send. So I don't know if y'all can see this, but it actually says sent on Grace and Jessica, okay? So they can just go through here and pick their 25 people to send to, and it doesn't look like it came from me. It looks like it came from them, okay? And I have the wording. I'll post it tonight. I have the wording that I send to my host that says tech tip. This is how you can quickly send this out to 25 people. So I have them do that on Saturday. So if you're moving these parties to Wednesday, Michelle, you could have them do that tomorrow on Monday. And then I go back and send it to them again on Tuesday and say, send this to 25 more people on Tuesday. And my wording says, Although we over-invite in the party, this is the very best way to get your host. Let me show you. And then I'll copy all this over there tonight. So let me go to one of my hosts that is inviting this week. Hold on, I'm trying to think of who one of my hosts is. Okay, here we go, right here. Lauren. Okay, so Lauren is one of my hosts for this week. So before I put them in the message group, I send them this little message that says, hey, Lauren, super excited about our party next week. Although our party starts on Monday. So it just kind of explains to her how to invite, okay? I'll share these words with you tonight. Once you want to invite, the sweet spot is inviting 200 to 250 people or more. Don't prejudge, blah, blah, blah. So it tells her how to invite. And then that was just the post I shared for her to put on her page. So then here I say a little thing that says, you've done a really great job inviting. The next step, this is the very best way to make your party a success. We over-invite in the group, but we want to personally message 25 people. This won't take you long. You can just copy and paste the personal message to those that you think would be most interested in joining the party. They might not have seen your party yet. This will really, really make a big difference in who joins us and participates, blah, blah, blah. Message you can send. So this is the exact message that she could put her finger and hit forward and forward this to 25 people very quickly. Hey, I'm having an online party this week, all online. I know we're all looking for more ways to make quick and easy healthy meals in the kitchen. So I thought you might want to check out new healthy recipes, blah, blah, blah. I hope you can join us, okay? So if she forwards that to 25 people, and then here's my little tech tip thing that I'll send y'all. You can copy and paste, blah, blah. But then it tells them how to put their finger on there and press forward and select the 25 people. This is the important part. Think of it this way. If you get a notification to join a party versus getting a personal message from a friend to join their party, which are you more likely to act on? Also, if you do send it to someone that you didn't already invite to the party, no worries. They can just click the group link and request to be added. So when they send this group link right here, anyone can click it and request to be added. So they don't have to remember if they already invited that person or not. They can just go send it to 25 people. But the reason I send this in the personal message and not in the group message is because I want to send it with their link, so it makes it super simple for them to do this step. So really, they don't have a reason not to do it if they want their party to be effective. So Michelle, those are some things that I am doing that I think make a big difference in getting people into the party. Okay, and I'll put all that over on the Team Love page tonight. So I hope this has been helpful. I told you I'd give y'all a sneak peek. Now, you know we're not supposed to be announcing any of this. Oh, hold on. Let me stop the recording.